According to experts, if you have only 0.28 Bitcoin, you are already among the top 1% wealthiest people in the world. Currently, 0.28 Bitcoin is worth just over $3,000. Now, we know you're wondering if this number is true or not, and how it applies to Bitcoin. Well, lucky for you, because for today's video, we will be answering your questions in mind. Welcome to Data Dash, and we will be sharing you some news on what's ahead for Bitcoin. But before we go on, make sure to give this video a like and subscribe, and while you're at it, hit the bell button to stay updated for more of our videos. But other than that, let's get started. Now, as we've said, Bitcoin is quite a great constant these days, and most studies recently have been saying today that there will always be so much Bitcoin around us. To understand this further, we'll be explaining a D5 altcoin that recently got actually $30,000. It's called VN Finance or VFI. And it's a good example before we get into talking about what makes Bitcoin special and why this is truly accurate. Now, this altcoin is regarded as urine finance. It is not decentralized or immutable like Bitcoin, but it is truly rare nowadays. Who knows where VFI will go in a year, let alone 10 years? So, why would you call it a safe investment? As a result, it's constantly evolving. It's changeable. Bitcoin is not like other currencies, although it does have scarcity. To explore this one even more, we'll be considering what Parker Lewis has to say about Bitcoin obsoletes. According to him, Bitcoin is rapidly becoming the rarest form of currency in history. No other kind of money has ever achieved or will ever achieve the level of demand necessitated by finite scarcity. This scarcity lies at the heart of Bitcoin's value. There are two sides to any scarcity problem. It's true that a finite supply is the main point, but demand is a necessity, yet frequently ignored, which become a facet of scarcity. And so, as a result, scarcity becomes a constant utility due to demand. In exchange, the supply of Bitcoin is becoming steadily more limited as a result of two factors: rising demand and a fixed, irreversible, inelastic supply. Because of Bitcoin's inelastic supply, fixed supply, and capped supply, as well as its massive network effect and prolonged existence, this cannot be altered. Not the same at this time, unlike a token like VFI that is new and subject to modification. Bitcoin's scarcity is a two-way function of its increasing demand and an elastic final supply. Since there is a finite amount, its scarcity drives demand, yet satisfying that desires leads to even more scarcity. If you feel like you're going in circles, you're not alone. There would be no value in Bitcoin if there were 21 million of them and only plenty of people cared about them. However, if we and another 100 million people placed a value on Bitcoin equivalent to that placed by about 100 million people now, then 21 million would become highly scarce, and Bitcoin would represent a bigger utility as a constant. As of right now, there are approximately 18.6 million Bitcoin in circulation, and this is the predicted adoption rate by the year 2020. By 2030, we can be sure that there will only be 20.6 million Bitcoin in circulation, despite the fact that their use will have increased tremendously over the past decade. 1 billion people buying Bitcoin? That's quite unbelievable, right? Let's talk about the typical amount of Bitcoin a user can spend. We don't know if you're aware of this, but the average amount of Bitcoin that people have on hand in 2020 is only 0.2. By 2030, the average amount of Bitcoins held will have dropped to just 0.02 coins. And this fact alone is enough to assure that anyone who possesses more than 0.28 coins will be among the world's 1% wealthiest people. And so, we believe Bitcoin's price will continue to rise for decades. Bitcoin has just been around for a year, so it's hard to picture it lasting for a decade. But we think it's a good bet like that. If you own 0.28 Bitcoin in the future, you may be among the world's wealthiest 1%, despite the fact that nobody can predict the future with certainty. If you're a complete coiner now, envision the future. People are beginning to understand the significance of joining the Bitcoin market. Since everything is recorded in a public blockchain, verification of this is trivial. It's as simple as following the money. A record number of Bitcoin wallets now store 1,000 Bitcoin or more. The demand has increased recently, as evidenced by this trend. And by the way, we were saying that since down here, and we've been talking about Bitcoin for over 3 years now, so this is precisely what we would expect to see if Bitcoin has a future. A white line represents the last line of resistance, and it happens to be just where Bitcoin is now. We've already passed through certain barriers of resistance, and if we can break through the final barrier of resistance, we see no reason of a continuation of the trend witnessed in previous bull markets. If you had been investing during this bull run, you would have seen significant gains as Bitcoin surpassed its previous record high. After Bitcoin's record highs were smashed, it never dipped that low again. If so, you must share my belief that Bitcoin will rise in value. Do you expect to make a lot of money off of your Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies in the future? As such, you guys should treat it and claim that hopes for crypto. You should take care of it well to keep your coins safe. Now, what are your thoughts about this video so far? Do you think Bitcoin has quite a future ahead, or do you have another cryptocurrency in mind that you'd like to share? Let us know what you think in the comment section below. But other than that, thanks for watching. This is Data Dash, and if you like this video, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and bell button for more of our cryptocurrency uploads for you. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in our next videos. Bye!